Good evening and welcome to Ville News. I'm your host, Ruby Mundok, alongside Nikki Dalton, here to give you the latest local, state, and national headlines. Coming up in this episode, we have updates on Mars Chocolate Factory incident, education reforms in PA, and a deadly shooting in Michigan. Stay tuned because Ville News starts now.
Police arrested a local woman in Lidditz on Monday after she bit off a man's ear. Northern Lancaster County Regional Police apprehended 22-year-old Skylar Pfeiffer of Lancaster, who attended a party in Lebanon with the victim, an unidentified male, earlier that Sunday night. While driving towards Lancaster around 3 a.m., the pair began arguing, and the driver pulled into the parking lot of High Spring Water on Furnace Hills Pike in Lidditz. The fight became physical when Pfeiffer bit off the victim's earlobe. The man was admitted to the emergency room at Good Samaritan Hospital before being transferred to Hershey Medical Center to have his earlobe reattached. Good Samaritan Hospital alerted the police of a patient admitted due to a domestic violence incident. Pfeiffer confessed the crime to police and faces a charge of aggravated assault. She was released on a $50,000 bail, and her preliminary hearing took place Thursday.
Mars Wrigley has been fined over last year's accident at their Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania factory. Officials claim that two maintenance workers employed by an outside contracting firm accidentally fell into a partially filled chocolate tank while doing routine maintenance work. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration says the workers were not trained or authorized to perform proper safety procedures by Mars for their equipment. Emergency responders freed the workers by cutting a hole in the bottom of the tank. Both were taken to the hospital following the incident. A spokesperson from Mars Wrigley said, quote, "The safety of our associates and outside contractors are a top priority for our business. As always, we appreciate OSHA's collaborative approach to working with us to conduct the after-action review," end quote. The injured workers have recovered, but Mars has been fined by OSHA for more than $14,500. Now, let's head to Ryan Argenti for a quick forecast. Ryan, what can we expect for the weather this week?
Yeah, Ruby, actually we're looking at a very mild and beautiful weekend coming up here. Here's a 3-day forecast for you guys here in Ville News. You can see the high temperatures here is 66 degrees for our high and 46 for our lows, 60 degrees for tomorrow's highs, and we're looking at 54 degrees as our lows for tomorrow night. And checking out Friday, a couple showers there as well for Thursday, but 58 degrees is not too bad, but dropping down to 24 degrees Friday night's lows. I got the full forecast coming up here in just a bit, so stay tuned to Ville News.
When we get back, we'll have updates on changes to Pennsylvania education funding and a big moment in state politics. Ville News will be right back. Public schools across Pennsylvania are celebrating a recent decision by a state court declaring that the current method of education funding used by the state is unconstitutional. The lawsuit, which was first filed in 2014 by parents and school districts across the Commonwealth, successfully argued that the funding of K-12 education in rural and poorer parts of the state is inadequate to the point that it violates the state's constitution. The decision was handed down by Judge Renee Cohen, who wrote a nearly 800-page ruling that the state is violating their students' rights to what should be a, quote, comprehensive, effective, and contemporary education, end quote. The ruling opens the door for lower-income communities and neighborhoods across the Commonwealth to potentially receive millions more in funding than in previous years. Despite the victory in court, questions remain as to how the state plans to implement a new and equitable education plan, as Governor Josh Shapiro has remained silent on the Commonwealth's next steps.
On the 7th of February, the Pennsylvania House of Representatives held elections to fill vacancies in 3 of the districts. These positions became open in November of 2022 after one representative passed away and 2 others were elected to other offices. These 3 elections were held in Allegheny County, including Pittsburgh, the state's second most highest populated county. In District 32, Democrat Joe McAndrew defeated Republican Clay Walker after Tony DeLuca, who held the seat, passed away. In District 34, Democrat Abigail Salisbury defeated Robert Pagan, a former police officer. In District 35, Democrat Matt Gurley defeated Don Neville's. Newly elected Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis had previously represented this district. These 3 Democratic wins have resulted in the Democrats taking control of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, following a Republican 101 to 99 seat majority prior to special elections. It has been noted that the Democrats have been the House minority for 24 of the last 28 years.
So Ruby, how are you feeling about the warm weather today?
Personally, I'm a big fan of winter, so I've been a little disappointed. I really want some snow, and it does not feel like we're going to get that.
Not at this point, yeah.
It's interesting, but let's head to weather with Ryan Argenti and see if these warm temperatures are going to stay or if we're going to get some winter.
Hey, welcome everyone to Ville News. I'm student meteorologist Ryan Argenti with your exclusive Ville News weather forecast. And taking a look over Lancaster City right now, I mean across the lower Susquehanna Valley, we're in store for a pretty nice night coming up here with conditions right now. Look at those temperatures, 58 to 62 degrees. And that right there for February, there's one description for that, and that's spoiled. I mean, I'm absolutely ready for the mild weather. I'm sure all of you are as well. But 58 to 62 degrees for our current temperatures, and it's pretty mild as well. So for this time of year, for February, we don't usually expect 58 to 62 degrees. So, but hey, like I said, we'll take it though, right? Looking at tonight's temperatures though, 44 to 48 degrees, still pretty mild, but we're looking at mainly clear conditions as well. And looking into Thursday, we're looking at some mostly cloudy conditions as we start to see a storm system move through. And we'll actually start to see some brief showers move through throughout the day, mainly in the afternoon. But mostly cloudy, pretty warm, 58 to 62 degrees again, so pretty mild. And as we shift into Thursday night, we're still going to see those clouds stick around, but temperatures are going to be going into the lower 50s, more like lower to mid 50s, 52 to 56 degrees. And mostly cloudy conditions once again with some scattered showers. We're still going to see those showers linger around, and a couple warm spots here and there throughout the night. And as we go into Friday's got some rain coming in. Hate to say it, but 58 to 62 degrees is our high. And as we head into the rest of the day, we will start to see some clouds dissipate throughout the day, and it's going to be fairly nice, clear, but pretty windy as well. And as we head into our radar here, we can see there's nothing around the Commonwealth as we're looking over Pennsylvania, so that's a good sign in terms of conditions for tonight. As we head into model guidance as well, model guidance, you can see just down below me here, we have a storm system out to the central plains, and this is the storm system that's going to be making its way up, as you see, up here to the lower Susquehanna Valley to Millersville, essentially. And so we're going to have those showers linger throughout the day on Thursday, and that'll last into Friday as well. As you can see, model guidance, this is the GFS model, by the way, is suggesting that we have those showers. So a couple wet days for Thursday and Friday. But as we head into Saturday and Sunday, Saturday, not looking too bad. You can see the big blue H just off the Atlantic coast there. And that's in close enough proximity to be giving us those mainly sunny conditions and fairly nice conditions. But we were looking at a little bit of a disturbance that the GFS was suggesting, although with that high pressure sticking around, it's going to keep those showers at bay. So we'll have those mostly cloudy, or we'll still have some clouds lingering around, but other than that, it's not going to be too bad for the beginning of our work week next week. And as we head into our 3-day outlook here, our temperatures for today, we were in the mid-50s, and then the lows for tonight aren't going to be too bad as well. Looking at Friday, around 60 degrees will be our highs, 54 degrees for our lows. And checking out Friday, temperatures 58 degrees, and then also the low for Friday night, 24 degrees. Look at that difference. It'll feel like winter again Friday night. But we'll still see those lingering showers from that storm system coming through. But as I said before, Saturday and Sunday, not looking too bad. Those conditions are looking really nice and setting up for a nice President's Day weekend. 46 degrees for Saturday, looking at 54 degrees for Sunday, and then mid-50s for Monday and mid-40s for Tuesday's highs. But this weather broadcast has been brought to you by the Millersville University Campus Weather Service. Visit us at millersville.edu/weather center for all of your latest weather updates. And back to you at the desk.
When we get back, new developments on the Ohio train derailment and news on a deadly shooting in Michigan. Ville News will be right back.
There are new developments on the train derailment that occurred early last week in Ohio. The 150-car Norfolk Southern freight train that was said to be carrying hazardous chemicals was derailed due to a mechanical issue in East Palestine, Ohio. forcing the surrounding towns to evacuate. The train was carrying multiple toxic chemicals, including vinyl chloride, which is a dangerous human carcinogen and has been linked to liver damage and cancer. Although the cars carrying the dangerous chemicals were intact after the crash, officials were worried that the cars were at risk of exploding. This caused them to release the chemicals and perform a controlled burn, creating a massive smoke plume over the town. The burning of these chemicals created hydrogen chloride acid, which clings to water, contaminating the Ohio River. This basin, which provides drinking water over 10% of the U.S. population, has reports of fish and cattle dying as far as 100 miles away. Though officials are labeling the water as safe to drink, hazardous material specialists are warning the public to stay clear of the area and get regular health checkups.
3 are dead and 5 injured following a deadly mass shooting at Michigan State University. On Monday, February 13th, students and faculty responded to a shelter-in-place alert after reported gunshots from the university's Berkeley Hall. It was there where the gunman killed 2 students before entering the Student Union Center and killing 1 more. Following a 3-hour manhunt, police found the shooter dead due to self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Authorities have identified the gunman as 43-year-old Anthony McCrae and report that he had no affiliations with the university. The FBI is investigating the tragedy, working to find a possible motive, and President Biden called on Congress to curb gun violence in the United States.
That's all we have this week for Ville News. Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in next week for the latest local, state, and national headlines.